Let's see. Is that it? Ooh, how bright can we get? I don't know. Let's turn it this way and try to get away from its brightness. There we go. Good morning, folks. Rob here with the brick background now. And 2020 projections for MLB is going to be very, very difficult. But after going to MLBfutures.com and Pacoda, I'm thinking somebody's missing it somewhere. And I'll tell you why I think so. Pacoda has nobody winning 40 games this year. One team is going to win games. I can promise you that. One team is going to go 40 and 20 or 42 and 28. I'm 42 and 18. Somebody's going to do it. You've always got teams that come out of the gate so hot. If you remember those that Mets team back in 1986, they had a 60-game stretch where 46 and 14. I mean that's pretty damn impressive. And if you look back last year, I'm sure I haven't looked, but I'm sure you'll find where the Dodgers probably won 43, 44, 45 games in a 60-game stretch. It's just no way that one of these teams out there cannot, somebody out of 30 has got to win 40 games. The odds just, I mean, my brain with it probably for the last 20, probably 50 days anyway, thinking about if they played 80 games, could somebody win 55? And now with 60 games, 43, 42 is not going to be a stretch for one of these. They're going to do it. I think it's the Dodgers. Why do I think it's the Dodgers? Well, look and see who they play. They play in Arizona. They play in San Diego. They're playing Colorado, and they're playing San Francisco 40 times. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to lose to them, not even 20% of the time, I don't think. If that's the case, that's 30 of their wins right there. That's 30 and 10. Then you've still got 20 more games for them to just go 500 against Houston, tough team. Oakland, pretty tough team. LA Angels, much improved team, yes. Texas and Seattle, Seattle will have them as the worst team in baseball. The Dodgers don't win at least 40 games this year. But let me give you Pacoda. Let me give you what Pacoda thinks is going to happen right now, and then I'll give you what Zips is thinking is going to happen. First off, let's give you Pacoda. They've got the Yankees. Well, let's go to the AL East first. They got the Yankees winning 36 games, and then they've got the Rays winning 32. Then they got my Red Sox 30 games. They think 30.1. They actually think they're better than 500 with that pitching staff. I don't see it, but somebody sees something I don't see with Boston, especially having to play the East, the National League East. Boston wins 30 games. That, somebody's got to win. Their manager's got to win Manager of the Year for winning 30 games with that team. I just don't see it. Eduardo Rodriguez is your number one in Boston. It's not going to happen. Toronto, 28.5. Very, very low, I think, for that team. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Baltimore, 21.5. So they've got the Yankees winning by roughly 4 games, 36 games. I like it. I probably like it better than most people like it. But I think it's a pretty close number. Central Division, by almost every account, everybody's picking Minnesota to win. I like Minnesota in this division. Pacoda's got them winning 34.9 games, roughly 35 games. Cleveland, 32.2. The White Sox, 30.8. Detroit, 25.9. Kansas City, got them below Detroit this year. I'm a little surprised by that, 25.1. Then you're going out west, and Pacoda and Zips both have Houston winning 36 games. I think that's still a little low. They've got to play the National League West 20 times. Yeah, you got to play Oakland and you got to play the Angels. Yeah, I realize that, but still, 36 is a little low for this ball club. I think they're better now. Oakland 31, they got them second, which they deserve to be. Angels 31.4, Texas 27.4, and Seattle 23 wins. Second worst in baseball, 23.4. So I don't think they're far off there. And you know, they obviously got computer ratings and everything like that. But when you hear what Pacoda's got to say at the end, I just think they're out of their mind. National League East, they've got Washington winning 32 games, winning the division. I'm sorry. The division winner for the National League East is not going to win 32 games. They're going to win more than that. 32.8. You got the Mets at 32.3. 2 games ahead of Atlanta. So I don't know where they jumped off the boat there. I realize Freeman and Markakis still may jump ship, but we don't know how many Mets is going to jump ship yet. And Washington's already had Ross and Zimmerman jump. So, you know, Ross, hell, he started a game in the World Series for him last year. So don't discount Joe Ross being gone. Ryan Zimmerman, not as big a deal. No doubt about it. After Atlanta, they got Philadelphia 28.3, Miami 27 games. Central, somebody's drinking some Kool-Aid here somewhere. Got the Reds winning 32.8 games. I don't see that at all. I mean, the Reds are an improved team, but I just don't see that. Cubs winning 31.6, St. Louis 30.7, Milwaukee 30 on the dot. So they've got 4 teams winning 30 games. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And Pittsburgh winning 25.9. I'm not sure they're going to win that many. And if you go to Zips, they've actually got – well, I'll go to Zips in a minute. I'll switch it around. But Pacoda has the Dodgers winning 38.4 games, the most of any team, which I think they're right. I think they're going to be the best team in baseball due to the fact they're playing the AL West and the NL West. That's why they're going to be the best. Arizona, 29 wins and 29.5 wins, along with San Diego, 29.5 wins. Colorado, minus Ian Desmond. Don't forget about that. That's going to be a big clock. 26.9, and the Giants, 25.8. Now, Zips has them a little bit different. Where Pacoda has the Yankees winning 36.4, straight up 37 wins for the Yankees. Where Minnesota, they have Minnesota 34.9, they got Minnesota winning 35 games. Houston, 36 wins, 36.1 wins, 36. So in the American League, Zips is going exactly with Pacoda. And I think they're pretty close. I don't think they're far off. I just think Houston wins a few more games than 36. In the National League, they're totally against a lot of things here. First off, Pacoda has Washington winning the division 32.8 games. Well, Zips has the Braves and the Nats winning 34 games, tying for the division win. I see that happening better than 32.8. I just don't see that happening. Zips has the Cubs winning 32 games, winning the division. Could happen. And in the West, we got the Dodgers winning 38 games. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, there's some teams out here that I think have been underscored, underwritten, and underappreciated. And I'm going to tell you the team's names right now. First off, let's go to Toronto. Toronto got Donaldson from the Braves, and they've picked up some pitching too, Rue and a couple other players. I think they're better than a 28-win team. I really do. I think they're going to give the Yankees all they can handle for the first 40 games of the season. I'm not even going to be surprised if Toronto leads in standings through 40 games. Now, at the end of the season, the Yankees have such an easier schedule, but they've got to play Toronto twice at the end. Toronto may give the Yankees all they can handle. Toronto wins more than 30 games this year. That's a team that I say, with their offense and with their improved pitching, they're a better team than 28.5. Play the over on that one. Over in the Central, Milwaukee, they're getting no love. Fourth place, 30 wins on the dot. They're a better team than that. They got Christian Yelich, they got Ryan Braun. They've got a slew of great hitters and some decent pitching. They're not the worst pitching team in the league, but they have a lot of good hitters. And for that reason alone, I think they're at least the second place team. I think they're going to win the division. That's what I think they're going to do with 34 wins. I think Milwaukee wins this division. Then, I got to go back to my homers there. I got to go to Philly. 28 wins behind the Mets by 4. No way. No way. They're a better team than the Mets. The Mets have better pitching, yes. Mets don't have the offense that Philadelphia's got now. Robinson Cano's a year older. He is, projected to be a 6 or 7 hitter now. He's no longer a 1 or 2 or 3 hitter. He's just not that. Yes, they have McNeil. Yes, they have Conforto. Yes, they have Alonso. Yes, they do. But you look at that lineup top to bottom for the Phillies, it's a better lineup than the Mets. I'm sorry. And I think that that the Phillies starting pitching is not as good as the Mets, no, but it's just a notch below. And with 60 games, they're going to finish ahead of the Mets, I think. And I really feel like this is a 30-win team easily, and I think they're going to win more than 30. They're going to be right there at the end, and I think they can win the division still because I think a team with this much offense, you can't talk your way into playoffs, but you sure as hell hit your way into the playoffs. And do I think they're a World Series caliber team? No, I don't. No, they're not going to beat the Dodgers. They're not going to beat the Astros. They're not going to beat the Yankees in a 7-game series. No way. They don't match up. But when you're playing 4-game series all through the year with the Nats, with the Braves depleted staff too, they've lost some stuff. Then you got Miami. Then they get to go to the American League and play Baltimore. They get to play Toronto. They get to play Tampa. And Tampa, I think they're overvalued too. And Boston. Toronto will give them a show for their money. And Boston has got some offense. But Boston does not have not nearly even the pitching that the Phillies have. Boston has one of the 5 worst rotations in baseball. They are just that bad. They are really terrible this year. So I think 30 wins for Boston is valuing the Red Sox. So that's an overvalue right there. Another overvalue, I think you got to see the Cincinnati Reds. 32 wins, man. Come on. I mean, yeah, you are playing the AL Central, but they've got the White Sox much improved. They got the Indians. They're good. Minnesota, they're not going anywhere. And they even got Detroit moving up a little bit. Then they've got to play the Cubs, St. Louis, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh. I just don't see the Cincinnati winning 32.8 games. I think that's an overvalue right there. The Mets, 32.3. I don't see it. I don't think they win 30 games. We'll see. It's all according to how they come out the top 10 games, first 10 games of the season. That's what means everything this year. There's just no accounting. I mean, there's no discounting how much these first 10 games are worth. They're worth a lot. They put a lot of confidence into players. If you go 8-2, you've got yourself. I mean, you got yourself one step towards 6 steps toward the playoffs. If you need 6 steps to the playoffs, you've got 1.5 right there. If you go 8-2, because um, number one, teams have got to catch you, and then teams have got to pass you, and that's not the easiest thing to do on a shortened schedule. You can shorten your bullpen. You can cut your bullpen in a little bit if you want to. Um, don't forget you got the DH going on, so pitchers are not going to be heated out there running the bases, stuff like that. It's just, I think this is a premier time for the Phillies, for Toronto, and Milwaukee. They all have great offenses. Now, if you want to really, really go with another team, let's go with the Dodgers. That's another primo team. They have a lot of offense. Even if their pitching does not step right up in the first 20 games, their offense can win them 14 games out of 20. That good. Um, and so is Houston and Yankees. But but I was circling teams that nobody was showing any love for. But the Yankees, Houston, and the Dodgers, if their pitching comes out flat, let's say the first 10 games, they can still go 7-3 with flat pitching. They can do it because they can overcome. If they get great pitching, they can go 8-2, 9-1, or 10-0. And I'm not sure the Phillies can go 10-0 in a 10-game stretch, but I think they can go 8-2, and I even think maybe they can go even 9-1. We got to see what Zach Wheeler brings to the table. Zach Eflin, he's got to come back strong this year. Where they're going to put Vince Velasquez, we don't know yet. Obviously, Aaron Nola, they need Aaron Nola really bad because he's going up against a lot of good number ones this year. And Scherzer's going to be one of them. So is DeGrom. He's got to show up. Yeah, I mean, if he gives up 2 runs in 7 innings, that's fine. I think the Phillies can hold up for something like that. If he gives up 5 runs in 4 innings, they're going to be in trouble. So that's the main thing, that the Phillies are going to be as good as their starting pitching probably takes them, because their relief pitching actually last year was not really that bad, and they can be better, I think. Dominguez can be a lot better. Adam Morgan was good last year. I kind of wink every time I talk about him being good because he only gave up 4 home runs, but I went to a game where he gave up 2 of those 4 home runs. So, when I saw him, he was not good. But the whole season, overall, he was a very good relief pitcher. So, my picks. This is my picks, strictly my picks for the season. The AL, I'm going to take the Yankees first. I'm taking Toronto second. I think Toronto's a much improved team. Third, I'm taking Tampa. Fourth, I'm taking Boston. And fifth, I am taking Baltimore. In the Central, I'm going to take Minnesota first. I'm going to take the White Sox second. I think the White Sox are an improved team, and I think they're good enough to pass Cleveland. Cleveland's still a good team. They're still the 3rd best team. I like Kansas City 4th, and I like Detroit 5th. I don't see where Detroit really helped their cause that much. In the West, I'm taking Houston. Yeah, all the way. I'm going to take Houston. I'm going with the Angels second. I think maybe the A's have a little bit of a lax season. Not so bad, but I think they finished 3rd. I'll take Texas 4th, and I'll take Seattle 5th. All right, now the one I didn't really, really want to get to yet, but we're going to get to it. National League East. All right. I'm going to take them. All right. I'm taking them, but not yet. Yeah, I am. I'm taking the Phillies. I think the Phillies can win 33 games, 34 games. I think they can win a division. Are they as good a team as the Nats and the Braves when the Braves have everything and the Nats have everything? No, they're not. But they're better offensively than either one of those two teams. especially without Markakis. And if Freeman's out, definitely not going to win the division. That's why I'm saying Washington finishes second, right behind the Phillies, or maybe even with the Phillies. I'm taking Atlanta third. Um, I think Markakis missing and Felix Hernandez is out now. They're gonna know it. You know, anytime you start taking some of the bottom pieces off of a house, it starts to crumble. These are not the all stars, but they are players that mean a lot to the team. And then on top of that, you don't know what kind of injuries they're going to have. They're already starting from behind everybody. I'm taking the Mets fourth, and I'm taking Miami fifth. Miami's getting no love this year from anybody. The Central Division, I'm taking Milwaukee. I still like Milwaukee. I think they're the best team in the Central. And the Reds are improving. There's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of if they're going to get everything clicking. I don't think they get everything clicking quite yet. St. Louis, with their pitching, I'm taking them second. I really am. I'm taking Cincinnati third. But all these teams could be within a game of each other. So when I'm not picking the Reds, I'm not a Reds hater. They may only finish 2 games out of first place. They could be that good. The Cubs, I think they're going to finish a couple of games behind all these teams. And then Pittsburgh could probably finish 10 games behind the worst team. So 25 wins probably is a little high for them. You heard me say it a little while ago. I think the Dodgers win 43. I think there's a couple other players already. I'm taking San Diego here. San Diego is a much improved team. They're playing in a dry condition. I don't know how the coronavirus does in dry conditions. It's not going to be excessively hot. It's not going to be excessively cold. It's going to be perfect weather out there. Let's take San Diego there. I'm going to take Colorado third. I'm taking Arizona fourth, and I'm taking the Giants fifth. Now, who am I going to pick to win the World Series this year? Well, I just told you I picked the Dodgers to have the best record in baseball, but I'm not going to pick them to win the World Series. Why is that? Because I don't think they're playing the best teams all through the season. I think you got to play some of the best teams to get really, really toughened up for the playoffs. The Yankees are going to be playing a lot of good teams. They're going to be playing Washington, the Mets, the Phillies, the Braves, Tampa, Boston. It's not going to let up a lot for the Yankees this year. Toronto. They're going to be playing a lot of good teams. Where the Dodgers, they will play Houston 4 games. They will play Oakland 4 games. But then they get, Arizona, San Diego, Colorado, the Giants. That's 40 of their games right there. They're not playing their strongest schedule. That helps them a lot. And then, of course, you got Houston. You cannot discount Houston. Houston is a team that I think can make a splash. And I think Houston plays the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. That could go either way. That'll be a close one. I like Milwaukee to come out of the Central to play the Dodgers. And I think they're going to give the Dodgers all they can handle right now. We're going to see what happens there. For some reason, I just don't see the Dodgers winning the World Series this year. I like it. I like the Brewers. But I'll also I also like the Yankees. The Yankees are just got too much right now. They're my favorite to win the World Series this year. I know everybody's taking the Dodgers. I'll take the Yankees over the Brewers in 5 games. Let me tell you real quick how Pacoda went against everything. They picked the Reds to win the World Series this year. They're going against a lot of things. First off, Vegas with their odds. The Reds are way back. Way back. Let me tell you the teams in front of the Dodgers on the MLB Futures Vegas scale. The Dodgers, they got winning it all. Yankees, Astros, Braves, Twins. I don't hear the Reds yet. Nationals, Rays, Phillies. Still no Reds. Cardinals. That's a central division team. Cubs. That's a central division team. Uh, let's see. The Indians. Cleveland Indians ahead of the Reds. Chicago White Sox. Both Chicago teams ahead of Cincinnati. And then the Reds. So Pacoda standings, I'm telling you, that's a stretch this year. They got them at best, the Reds finishing third. I think the Reds finish third in their division. I agree with them. They've actually got the Cardinals and then the Cubs. Nobody's showing any love for the Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee, I think, is going to be your surprise team of 2020. 34 wins, and I think they make it to the National League Championship Series. I think they find a way. They may not. If they don't, watch out for the Phillies. Obviously, the Nats are there, but watch out for the Phillies as well. A team that could creep in there, obviously, is the Cardinals. But we'll see what happens there. You all have a great, great day. Don't forget, MLS starts 9 a.m. this morning. This is Thursday morning, 9th. MLS starts back up. It played last night, but New York City FC and Philadelphia Union, 9 a.m. ESPN, 9 a.m. this morning. It's live, folks, believe it or not. It is a live game in 18 minutes. So if you get a chance, flip it on to the channel. Watch you some soccer this morning. All right, guys. Have a great day. God bless and be safe and stay cool. It's a little warm out here today, but stay cool. Bye-bye.